All right, we just got done with the ride and that was awesome. I learned a lot about this bike today. Everything I have on here with the bars and stem and all that kind of stuff is straight overkill. I can tell you right now, whoever buys this bike and they want to do trails like this, all you need is a $150 fork, a $60 set of brakes, and a cheap rear shock, and that's it. All right, I feel like this is the moment we've all been waiting for. I'm at the infamous Floyd Hill, which is a pretty fun and gnarly trail. And I know I got a lot of new people that's on the channel now, and I know some people probably tired of me explaining this, but I feel like I gotta explain it for the new people. Walmart did give me this bike. They did not tell me I had to make any videos on it. They just said, here, take the bike, try it out, let me know what you think. And turns out I actually like the bike. Now, I know a lot of us grew up in different backgrounds and things like that, so I try to understand it from everyone's perspective. But I make my videos based on my perspective and how I approached mountain biking and how it got me into it. So where I grew up, we didn't have any bike shops or anything like that. Walmart was our local bike shop. That's the only place that we could access bikes. I normally would never tell anybody to buy a Walmart bike, but now Walmart really stepped their game up. And what makes me excited about this bike is that even people back in my hometown has access to an actual mountain bike. And that's why I take a lot of pride into these videos that I make about this bike, because a lot of us don't have access to the expensive and high quality, as you say, mountain bikes. So this is all we got. So I like to know that I'm riding something that somebody back home can see me on and they can say, oh, he rides that. I can go down to my local Walmart and pick this bike up. It's not a Walmart thing. I keep trying to tell people, anybody could have made this bike and I would have been excited about it. But it's extra nice because it's Walmart, because now everyone, for the most part, has access to it, and it's only $400 and some. So that's the thing that I really like about this bike. Now, I've been a professional athlete. A lot of people don't know that. I played in the Boston Red Sox organization. I've accomplished a lot in my life. I have nothing to prove. So me riding this bike, I gain nothing from it. It's just me showing people what you can do on this bike for the amount of money that you pay. You don't have to spend your whole paycheck on a mountain bike. And the reason I put these upgrades on it is because I want this bike to be potentially my main trail bike. So I want some decent components on it. And I want to address one more thing before we rip into these trails. Now, people think I'm trying to sell the Walmart bikes and stuff. I'm not trying to sell these bikes. Of course, I get a little kickback from the affiliate links. I'll be honest about that. But it's not me trying to sell bikes. It's me trying to sell the experience. If I'm out here riding and I'm having fun and I'm on an $8,000, $7,000, even $4,000 bike, yeah, they can say that looks fun, but who can go out and buy that bike? Now, if I'm showing them my experience and I'm out here on a $400 Walmart bike, that's something that they can say, oh, I could probably do that because I can go down and buy that same bike. So that's the point I'm trying to make. Now let's get into this ride. We are starting the initial climb up Floyd Hill. And let me tell you, this is just a normal feeling being on this bike. I don't feel like I'm riding a Walmart bike or anything. I feel like I'm riding a modern mountain bike. So far so good. And this 1x9 drivetrain is actually a little bit better gearing than I thought. I'm out of shape, but I definitely feel like I got enough gears to climb right now. Here's a little technical spot right here at the beginning of the climb. Let's see how it handles this first obstacle. Oh, that's crazy. That's easy. Let's say, oh, let's go. Techie, baby. Let's say Walmart didn't give me this bike and I saw this bike come out and I saw everything that it had to offer. like boost, tapered head tube. It's just all the modern stuff that it has on it. I would have bought this bike with my own money. And this is coming from somebody who has this fancy carbon mountain bike. I have the Polygon Siskiyou T6. I would have went and bought this with my own money just because I felt like it was worth it. Just like I bought the Ozark Trail gravel bike with my own money. I said, dang, this is a sick bike. And it don't cost that much. Let me go buy this and see what it's like. And it ended up being awesome. So even if Walmart wouldn't have gave me this bike, I would have still went out and bought it. Man, I am out of shape. I'm sorry I feel so passionate about this, but I am. It just really gets to me because when I was at my lowest point after my baseball career, because it ended a lot sooner than I thought it would, bikes is what gave me another purpose in life. And now my goal is to help as many people as possible feel that same thing, or just experience the joy of riding bikes. And the fact that money is one of the biggest issues keeping people from experiencing that, that's just ridiculous in my opinion. There's no way bikes should be so expensive to where people can't even afford a decent bike. Now, I totally understand that people's biggest issue with these bikes is the longevity. And that's what I'm here to try to figure out. Now, most people who ride this bike will not be doing what I'm doing. That's one thing. So people don't really understand that. So I'm pushing this bike further than pretty much anybody would who would actually own this bike. Not people trying to review it to push it to its limits, like the first day riding it and stuff. I want to actually use this as my trail bike day in and day out, see how long it lasts. That's why I invested quality parts into this bike. So most people who will be riding this bike won't even be doing this stuff. And one thing I don't understand is people give Walmart so much hate, but these other companies will charge you $800, $900 to $1,000 and say it's an entry-level mountain bike when some of them have 2x drivetrains, no rear through axle, no tapered head tube. Is there no issue with them doing that? That's like just straight up disrespectful. So that's what I don't get. All right, here we go. First time in a while going in there straight blind. Let's do it. Oh, that's sick. All right, we made it to the top. It's showtime. Oh, this is sick. Hey, y'all got the Ozark Trail messed up. First thing I noticed, this rear shock, it has to go just because of the way I ride. This is not mandatory for most people, but out here in Colorado, yeah, you want a little bit better rear shock. But other than that, it's a beast so far. But as long as it don't fall apart, it's doable. Like it's not holding me back whatsoever. I can tell you right now, whoever buys this bike and they want to do trails like this, all you need is a $150 fork. Oh shoot, that's a lot of mud. $150 fork, a $60 set of brakes, and a cheap rear shock, and that's it. And what'll that be? Probably $700 max. And if you wanted a dropper post, I'm sure you could get that pretty inexpensive. So let's call it $800 max. And you got a ripping machine. Who would have ever thought Walmart would be able to pull something off like this? Now, in my personal opinion, especially since I prefer hardtails, I know the craze is about full suspension mountain bikes nowadays, but I would do away with the full suspension. Well, not do away with the full suspension, but really focus on the hardtail, because you can get a better ride out of the hardtail with just a better fork. So then you don't have to worry about the rear shock. That's just my personal opinion, because I love hardtails. See, look at this rock garden. Oh shoot, this is wow. Oh my God, holy, oh, let's go. Dang, I thought that was about to be bad. So I would prefer the Ozark Ridge with all these modern standards, so I could spice that up, because I prefer hardtails, but you could get a pretty sick full suspension out of this, as you can see. Once I upgrade this rear shock, it'll be ready to go. Let's hit this drop. Oh, sick! I don't know if I want to hit this one though. Let's see. No, I'm not gonna hit that one. I haven't ridden in a while, so I want to keep my wrists at a minimum right now. I think there's another one right here. No, I think I already passed it. Oh, here it is. This is the one I usually hit. But yes, it's looking a little too steep today. I think we're just gonna take the roller to the left. Yeah, I'm really surprised right now, I will admit. Yeah, you just change out the fork, the rear shock, and the brakes on here, and you good to go. That's crazy. This trail is pretty gnarly too. I've had so many crashes on this trail, especially when I was a beginner. And to know you could bring a Walmart bike out here and rip now, it's unbelievable. All right, we just got done with the ride and that was awesome. Now remember, I just did a trail that majority of people won't be doing on this bike, and it showed you what it can do. Now, I learned a lot about this bike today. Everything I have on here with the bars and stem and all that kind of stuff is straight overkill. I learned today all you need is a new fork, some hydraulic disc brakes. These are $29 a piece, front and rear, and to switch this coil out and get a decent air shock or a coil if you want to, but just replace this. I think you can get a pretty inexpensive air shock and you'll be under $800 for sure with everything, if my math is correct. So with this bike, if you want to ride what I just rode, all you got to do is get new fork, new rear shock. You don't even need a new rear shock. It's just really bouncy and annoying, but it works. And and hydraulic disc brakes. That's it. So that's awesome to know. I was seeing some people saying you should get the D5, the Siskiyou D5 over this. Please don't do that. And I got a T6. If you're gonna spend that money on that bike, just get a T6. But don't get the Siskiyou D5 over this, please don't. That's all you need, and you'll be under $800 if my math is correct. Maybe $800 max. But yeah, this bike rips, and I think I'm gonna use it as my main trail bike now, especially once I get this rear shock on the bike, because I want to see how well this linkage holds up and just how well the bike will hold up in general on some real trail riding. And this was pretty gnarly. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you see that this bike can really rip, and I'll see you in the next one.